Let's begin a new adventure. The story is called The Young Adventure of Pinocchio. Once upon a time, there was an old carpenter named Geppetto who was very happy making wooden toys for the children of his village. One day he made a puppet from a very special piece of pine wood and decided to call it Pinocchio. That night, a blue fairy arrived at the old carpenter's workshop. "Good Geppetto," she said while the old man slept, "you have made others so happy that you deserve for your wish of becoming a father to come true." Smiling, the blue fairy touched the puppet with her magic wand. "Wake up, little puppet made of pine. Wake up! The gift of life is yours." And in the blink of an eye, the blue fairy gave life to Pinocchio. "Pinocchio, if you are brave, sincere, and selfless, one day you will become a real boy," said the blue fairy. Then she turned to a cricket named Jiminy Cricket who lived in Geppetto's cupboard. "Jiminy Cricket," said the blue fairy, "you must help Pinocchio. You will be his conscience and the guardian of the knowledge of good and evil." The next day, Geppetto proudly sent his little wooden boy to school. But because he was so poor, he had to sell his coat to buy the school books. "Pinocchio, Jiminy Cricket will show you the way," said Geppetto. "Please don't get distracted and arrive at school on time." Pinocchio left home, but he never arrived at school. Instead, he decided to ignore Jiminy Cricket's advice and sold the books to buy a ticket to the puppet theater. When Pinocchio began to dance with the marionettes, the puppeteer, surprised by the wooden boy's abilities, asked him if he wanted to join his puppet show. Pinocchio happily accepted. However, the evil puppeteer had very different intentions. His plan was to become rich with the only living puppet in the world. He immediately locked Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket in a cage. It was then that Pinocchio recognized his mistake and began to cry. The blue fairy suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Although the blue fairy knew the real reason why Pinocchio was trapped, she still asked, "Pinocchio, why are you in this cage?" But Pinocchio didn't want to tell the truth, and then something strange happened. His nose began to grow longer and longer. The more he spoke, the more it grew. "Every time you tell a lie, your nose will grow," said the blue fairy. "Please make it stop," said Pinocchio. "I promise I won't lie again." The next day, on his way to school, Pinocchio met a boy. "Come with me to the land of toys. In this place every day is a holiday," said the boy excitedly. "There are toys and sweets, and best of all, you don't have to go to school." Forgetting once again the advice of the blue fairy and Jiminy Cricket, Pinocchio ran with the boy to the land of toys. When he arrived, he had a lot of fun playing and eating sweets. Suddenly, the ears of Pinocchio and the other children in the land of toys began to grow very long. Because they didn't want to go to school, they were turning into donkeys. Turned into donkeys, Pinocchio and the children ended up in a circus. The ringmaster made Pinocchio work without rest. There, Pinocchio hurt his leg while doing tricks. Angry, the ringmaster threw him into the sea along with Jiminy Cricket. In the water, the spell broke and Pinocchio returned to his puppet form, but a nearby whale opened its huge mouth and swallowed him whole. In the darkness of the whale's stomach, Pinocchio cried while Jiminy tried to comfort him. At that moment he saw Geppetto in his little boat. "My son, I was searching for you by land and sea when the whale swallowed me. I am so happy to have found you," said Geppetto. They hugged each other joyfully. "From now on I will be good and responsible," Pinocchio promised through tears. Taking advantage of the fact that the whale was sleeping, Geppetto, Pinocchio, and Jiminy Cricket lit a fire inside her and jumped out of her enormous mouth when the fire made her sneeze. Then they sailed until they reached home. But Geppetto fell ill, and Pinocchio fed him and cared for him with great dedication. "Father, I will go to school and work hard to make you proud," said Pinocchio. Keeping his promise, Pinocchio studied hard at school. Then one day something wonderful happened. The blue fairy appeared and said, "Pinocchio, you are brave, sincere, and have a kind and selfless heart. You deserve to become a real boy." and that is how the wooden boy became a real boy. Pinocchio became a doctor, and his father Geppetto opened a clinic in their village. They lived comfortably. Reflection. The story of Pinocchio is more than a tale about a wooden puppet who wishes to become a real boy. It is a reflection on the human journey toward maturity, identity, and moral growth. Pinocchio represents the inner child within all of us, curious, impulsive, easily tempted and eager for freedom without fully understanding its consequences. Throughout the story, Pinocchio is tested by lies, illusions, and false promises that seem attractive, but lead him further away from who he wants to become. His growing nose symbolizes the weight of dishonesty. Every lie distances him from his true self. His transformation into a donkey shows how giving in to laziness, irresponsibility, and the search for constant pleasure can turn a person into something they are not meant to be. Yet the heart of the story is redemption. Despite his mistakes, Pinocchio learns through pain, loss, and love. His deep affection for Geppetto and his desire to make him proud awakens in him the courage to change. The Blue Fairy rewards not perfection but effort. Pinocchio becomes a real boy when he acts with sincerity, compassion, and self-sacrifice. Ultimately, Pinocchio reminds us that becoming real is not about appearance, it is about character. We become our true selves when we choose truth over lies, responsibility over comfort, and love over selfishness. It is through these choices that we grow, transform, and discover what it truly means to be human. This was the end of the story. Bie Wang Liao Ding Yue